A great gun is useless if the rest of your loadout is wrong. So today, we're building the 7 essential loadouts you need for Season 10. We're not just showing you what to use, we're explaining the strategy. Why Overclock goes here, why Dauntless goes there. We'll cover everything from a tactical S&D piece of art to the most toxic persistent setup imaginable. I highly recommend you open your game and build these as we go. First up, I want to start with a pure piece of art. This loadout is designed specifically for search and destroy with one simple goal. Get as many free kills and as much free information as possible, and then punish the enemy. You'll need a trip mine and a trip sensor. Pair those with the restock perk, and your tactical and lethal equipment are now endless. Next are the S&D essentials. Dead silence is needed, obviously. For score streaks, you'll use the standard trio: UAV, Shock RC, and Hunter Killer Drone. Now, for the rest, you have a few choices. You'll be running a sniper, but the real question is what you pair it with. You have two options here. First, if you plan on playing tight areas, you'll want a close quarters weapon. Think of a shotgun like the HSO-405 or R90, or a fast SMG like the VMP or CX-9. Second, if you want to stay at a distance, your two best picks are the HVK-30 or the Odin. Your green perk depends on this choice. If you go with a close range build, you might want Gung Ho. Otherwise, Toughness is the one you should use in general. Of course, you can still use classic S&D perks like Ghost or Hardwired. This part is entirely up to you. Next up, we need a good respawn loadout, and my analysis here is simple. There are two ways you can flip a game in COD Mobile. You can either use score streaks, or you can use operator skills. We're not using persistence, so this loadout is built to exploit operator skills as much as possible. First, you equip the skill Overdrive Wildcard, which allows you to equip two powerful operators at the same time. Here's a list of the best ones to choose from: Equalizers, Death Machine, Claw, Annihilator, Misdirection Device, Reactor Core, Gravity Vortex, Tempest, or the Control Field. Second, the one needed perk for this build is Overclock, which charges those operators even faster. The rest of the loadout is flexible. Put on your favorite gun. It can be an AR, SMG, or LMG. It just doesn't matter as long as it's not a shotgun. Add your favorite secondary and whatever lethal and tactical equipment fits your gun. For score streaks, my favorite trio is the UAV, Shock RC, and Advanced UAV. You know, there's a huge problem with best loadout videos. We all spend hours in the gunsmith tweaking attachments for that extra 1% of ADS speed or recoil control. Then we get into a real sweaty rank match and our phone starts to get hot, the frames drop, and our touch response gets delayed. And that perfect loadout just falls apart. It's the worst feeling. It's like your phone is holding you back. So, Red Magic actually sent me their new Red Magic 11 Pro to test out for this exact reason. For this whole video, all the loadouts I'm testing, I'm running them on this. It's running that new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which... look, it means the game runs flawlessly. But the real magic is that it keeps running flawlessly. It has this new aqua-core system. It's literally server-grade liquid cooling with a waterproof fan. And I'm not kidding about waterproof. I literally dunked this thing in a tub of water while COD Mobile was running, and it still works perfectly. But for me, as a 5-finger player, this is the most important part, the 100% flat back. It sits perfectly stable in my hands, which is just a must-have for comfort. They even upgraded the battery to a massive 7,500 mAh. It just means I can grind all day and I'm not even thinking about my charger. Look, this is genuinely the phone I'm using to test out all these loadouts for a reason. It just works. A huge thanks to Red Magic for supporting the channel and letting me test this out. If you're curious and want to learn more, I'll put the link for it down below. For our next respawn loadout, we're going to build around the Man of War with thermite rounds. The goal with this loadout is to abuse its strengths and completely make up for its 3 major weaknesses. First, you will constantly kill yourself with your own thermite rounds. To fix this, you need to equip the Dauntless perk. Second, the Man of War thermite has only 15 bullets per mag, which is not enough for longer gunfights. And third, the gun is incredible at medium and long range, but it's ass in close quarters. Because of that tiny magazine and its weakness up close, you must pair it with a weapon that dominates in CQB. Preferably a fast, comfortable SMG using the Overkill perk. So outside of those 3 core components, the Manowar, Dauntless, and a strong close-range secondary, the rest of the loadout is flexible. Your lethal, tactical, score streaks, and operator don't really matter. Just pick what best fits your playstyle. As a side note, I also tried this loadout with Amped. It went well, but honestly, it felt a little unnecessary most of the time. For this next loadout, I want to take advantage of two strong weapons at once. The goal is to take two guns with opposite strengths and use them to make up for each other's weaknesses. Take the Type 63. It is an absolute monster at any range beyond 15 meters. Now, take the CX-9 Burst. It is one of the deadliest guns in the game, but only up to 15 meters. I think we can make that work. Your operator is up to you, but something really good is usually preferred. The rest of the loadout, your perks and equipment, will depend on whether you're playing S&D or Respawn. It's a simple swap. If it's for Search and Destroy, copy the perks and equipment from our first S&D loadout. Restock is the key. If it's for Respawn, just throw in Overclock instead of Restock. You don't even have to change your lethal or tactical. The same logic applies to your score streaks. Use the standard S&D trio or the standard Respawn trio. We need to talk about one more toxic loadout, and then we're on to our researcher's favorite. Okay, earlier I said that there are two things that can flip a game in Respawn: operators and score streaks. We've covered operators, so yep, we're doing a persistence loadout. Yep, I'm sorry, and we are going full blast toxic cancer with this one. For the important part, what score streaks are we using? It's simple. First, the UAV. It's the best of the cheap ones. Second, the lightning strike. It's the best of the middle ones. Third, the advanced UAV, which you can also swap for a more lethal, expensive streak. But wait, we're also using the killstreak support wildcard, which gives us a fourth slot. And there's nothing better for that slot than an EMP system to defeat the enemy's high-cost score streaks. As for your lethals, tacticals, operator, and primary weapon, it doesn't really matter. Pick whatever is your favorite and will get you the most points. I highly recommend you play inside the objective, as it's going to help you farm points much faster. Alright, now that we've cleared the toxic stuff, I want to show you a shotgun loadout that works in pretty much all game modes. With this loadout, the specific shotgun doesn't matter as much as the perk base, which is the most important part. First, lightweight is a must-have. With a shotgun, your sprint speed is the only thing that can save you. Second, since not sprinting is basically equal to dying, we're using Gung Ho. This lets us run and reload, so we are always running. For the blue perk, you have a choice: Dead Silence for stealth or survival training for resistance. I'm terrible with shotguns in S&D, so I find survival training more useful in Respawn. And here's the key: I use a second red perk, Tactician. Why? Because it lets me carry 2 smoke grenades. This allows me to create my own path and cover, which is perfect for both offense and defense. You could also use 2 concussions or stims, but I love the spacing advantage of smokes. For the lethal, what's better than a contact grenade with a shotgun? There isn't one. And for score streaks, I keep them cheap. I don't go on long streaks with this build, so I get more value from the typical UAV, Shock RC, and Hunter Killer Drone trio. And finally, for our 7th loadout, this is our researcher Z's personal favorite. This is his go-to build for when he's just not in the mood to get insulted for using something toxic. The idea is simple: build for pure comfort and maximum operator efficiency without abusing the double operator strategy. So, the core of the loadout is Overclock paired with Z's favorite operator, the Tempest. From there, the rest of the perks are all based on his personal logic. He runs Dauntless because, as he puts it, burning and slowing effects just annoy him way too much. He uses Quick Fix because, in his words, he's terrible at managing his health. And of course, Dead Silence because Dead Silence. For score streaks, he sticks with the usual Respawn trio: UAV, Shock RC, and Advanced UAV. As he says, why change a winning team? And for his equipment, he just uses his standard scrimp setup, Semtex and Smoke, to get more comfortable with them. That's it. A simple, reliable, non-toxic loadout that just feels good to use. So now you have these 7 essential loadouts for any situation in Season 10. But a perfect loadout deserves a perfect weapon. The video on your screen is my definitive ranking of the top 10 guns you need to pair with these loadouts.